I want to talk to you today about motivation. As a personal trainer, it's a question that comes up quite a lot. I hear lots of people asking about it, particularly when they've had some motivation but they've lost it. So the question that I often hear is, how do I get my motivation back? How do I get motivated again to do X, Y or Z? Well, as a personal trainer, the most common thing we talk about is weight loss. So we're going to use that as our main example for the purposes of this conversation. So if you're on a weight loss journey, presumably at some point you've been motivated enough to start. Excellent, that's really good. Motivated to make a decision to either join a gym or a slimming club or find a healthy eating plan or get a personal trainer or whatever it might be. You've found that motivation and you've taken action. That's the first step. That initial motivation can sometimes not keep us going for a massively long amount of time though. So it's these points that we need to start thinking about, well, what strategies can we use in order to keep ourselves going towards whatever goal we've set. In this example, let's say it's weight loss. So what can we do? What strategies can we put together? And the first thing I want to say is motivation is a decision as well as it being a feeling. We can feel motivated, but we also can decide to be motivated. So those are two things that I want to consider as one thing. It's a decision and we have to keep making it. We have to keep making it and we have to keep taking action. And if we're consistent and we keep doing those things, we will start to see progress towards whatever our goal is. Absolutely will, promise you. The second thing is actually preparation. It's good to prepare for those points where we may well lack motivation in those times when we actually are feeling motivated, and then form a habit which will continue to keep us going. Now, a good example of this is meal prep. Now, you may have heard this term if you've been anywhere around the fitness space. And what we're pretty much talking about is preparing your food in advance. That's all it is. Now, for me, I do this on a Sunday, prepare my lunches for the week on a Sunday, and I have the same thing every week, every weekday lunchtime. I prepare on a Sunday, and when I get to the day, all I've got to do is take it out of the fridge and stick it in the microwave, heat it up, job done, I've got a meal. It takes the decision away from that moment, and it means that I don't have to think about what I'm going to eat. It means I haven't got to make a bad decision, or a decision perhaps better phrased, that isn't in support of whatever my goal is. Because I've already done it. I've done the work, I've prepared the food, I've decided what it's going to be ahead of time. All I have to do is heat it up. So that's something that can be really helpful. Now, some people don't get on with that type of thing and they want to vary the food. Vary the food. It's my decision to have the same thing pretty much every day. You may want to change it up, but if you prepare it in advance, when you're feeling motivated, then that can really help you push forward towards your goal. So that's the second thing to say on the matter. The third thing when we're talking about motivation is actually when we're talking about working out, routine can be helpful. Now, I know some people struggle with routine, some people don't, but actually in terms of forming a habit and in terms of getting ourselves through a phase when we're not feeling motivated, actually having a habit, having a routine can be really helpful. So that might be that you go and work out before you go to work. That could be your routine. It could be that you work out after work. Or there's a particular set time that you do it. Now, if you work shifts, obviously that's slightly different, but having something that attached to something else that's connected with it. So if your fixed thing is work and maybe that moves around, then maybe you move your gym session or your workout, whatever it might be, around alongside it. But having something like that means that, again, you take the decision away. If you're going to work, you're going to train. It may not work for some people, but that's good. It's something else you can have in your toolkit for keeping yourself going when you're not feeling motivated. So another thing in terms of working out as well is working out with either somebody or in a group of people. So it might be that you go to like a boot camp or a fit camp, or go to some classes at a gym, or maybe you have somebody who has similar goals to you who can work out with you at the gym, or maybe you can go for a run together. Having somebody you can be accountable with for that, again, can be really helpful because it will push you through those times where you don't feel like training. And there are times where we don't feel like training, absolutely. But actually be able to say, yep, okay, I acknowledge this feeling, I acknowledge that I don't feel like doing it, but I'm going to do it anyway. And that's an important mantra to have. Now, whether that's just you're going to be accountable to yourself, or if you can be accountable to other people and a group of people, all the better, because it means that you've got some sense of shared spirit about what you're doing. And actually, in those times where you've had a bad day, you're not feeling like it, you can have some of the best workouts. Not always, but in my experience, you can have some of the best workouts in those times. And the last thing I want to say is, if it happens, it happens. Be kind to yourself if it does happen and you fall off the wagon, or you fall off whatever your plan is, or your healthy eating lifestyle, or your training lifestyle, or whatever it is you're trying to do, whatever path you're taking towards whatever your goal is. There are times where we're not going to be doing things that are going to be moving us towards that. And it's okay to acknowledge the fact that that happens. And if it does, it's fine. Be kind to yourself. Acknowledge where that's come from, acknowledge what's happened, deal with it, move forward. It's no good beating yourself up about it because it won't help. And if anything, it might push you further back. So if you do have those things happen, as we all likely to do that from time to time, these things will happen. Take stock, assess the situation, acknowledge what's happened, move forward. Tomorrow is another day. And just because something's gone bad today doesn't mean the whole day has to be written off either. You can still change the trajectory, you can still move things forward from this point forward. So just acknowledge, assess, and move forward. That's what I would say. So I hope what I've talked about today has been of some help in terms of thinking about how to keep motivated in those times when we're not feeling it. The important thing is just to be aware and be kind to ourselves, and to put things in place that work for us, that can help move us forward. And it might be that it's a personal trainer that you're accountable to, or an online coach, or a physical personal trainer, or group fitness, or a friend. Somebody who will help support you with your goals. Having somebody in your life that can help you with that can be really important. But it's finding what works for you. We're all different, we all have different things that help us work and help us succeed, and there are different things that make us tick, but all of our personalities are different. So find the thing that connects with you and works for you, and then put that into practice and take action consistently, and you will see results. Have a great day, and thank you so much for watching.